Hello friends and hello student. In this session we learn the disconnected architecture in ASP.NET with C#. So here I share my laptop screen and fix the position so you can watch better way. And in this session we can learn only insert and display operations. So we can insert in SQL Server backend database SQL Server 2012. So here I open already, that is a SQL Microsoft Visual Studio Express 2012 Web Edition, and connectivity, that is a website folder name, and file menu I take new file, or we can say that web page file, and here C# web form file is there, and here I change the name of web page. Like here we can give the disconnected, and that is a employee information. We can take 5 field of employee. Okay, so that is a name of a web page. So yes, I just press add button and that is file is include. And here we can fix our goal. That is a title of the page, and that is a disconnected architecture platform, or you can say that method technique. So many way that type of word also used. So in exam of any exam university exam of, so you can understand the disconnected or connected, that is two technique of ADO.NET connectivity. So here we can use the disconnected platform and insert and display on the page, and also GridView we can display in two ways. So let us start, and we cannot consume our time to design part. So my previous video lecture here already student data, I just copy this design only. So here TR also many 5 row is there. So here I just copy 5 field, and that is student information, but we can change according to our employee information. So here I full screen, and now I close first previously file. And when you can copy B alerts, all are perfectly close all text. So here first require the table tag close, and then we can appropriate place the close our panel tag. So then you can look your design. Now we can also here that panel in starting that take some appropriate position, so look better and we can understand better way. And here panel 1 and that ID and grouping text we can change to according to our requirement. That is a employee form. Employee we can take employee data, or you can like customer data, product data, whatever depend upon your requirement. So here yes, so we can let us check. I save, and first we can change this. Yes, that roll number is there in label text, so we can change the ID of employee here, just ID, and that text box text, that ID we can also change EID, TXT Okay, so employee ID means, and then name is no any required to change, and here TXTNM, and that is a, here we can use the access key short N, so that is also, and so here use the U underline, so U and starting in N, so that is a shortcut key. For alter N you have to press, then TXT name field text box is selected. So access key you have to know very well how to use. So here is also that demo is applied. Okay, now third field is a gender, and there is two radio button, RBM male and RBF female, and male female, and grouping name, because that is single radio button. You can also take the radio button group, or you can say the radio button list control group means. Okay, and third is a standard fourth field. So here we can take the department, not standard, because that is a now is a employee form, not a student. So yes, department, and we can take here. I just remove this all student standard, and here I provide the that child tag list drop down list box and list item that child tag, and also here you can give the text and value, but directly also possible in between starting and ending tag list item. So here we can give the some department like purchase, and then I just copy and paste. So here we can edit in between that value, and also we can only take 3 department, and after that dispatch. Okay, and 3 we can take as a runtime dynamically in page load event. Okay, so 3 we can give in static and 3 we can give dynamic value. Okay, and now last is a hobbies. So there are 3 hobby and we cannot change any in these hobbies. Now we can take one new row and then tr and then td, table data and table row, and then call span we have to give and 2, and in between we can take our button, insert button, and show display means show means, or we can give any name. So show or display, there are 2 possibility. So BT first directly insert. In my next upcoming video lecture, we can perform all operation, but here is only insert and show operation we have to take. So initially, and we can use as a backend tool as a SQL Server 2012 or any version. There is no any problem. So here we can give the run at server side and then text of that button, insert, and then some formatting like that font bold equal to true, so that looking better, and font size we can select. I just move ahead. So here, and then large first value, font size so many value, and then 4 color we have to provide, and that we have to take directly that window also possible. So dark some we can take the blue. Okay, so that blue, yes, and then I just close this button and take second button, and that button we can show or display. So I just show because in previous connected architecture I give the display, so here I can give the show. Okay, so here text is also changed and we can say that show of record. So we can show in 2 ways, GridView and directly on the web page. So now our complete thus, and let us I save and check our design, any change is required or not. So yes, so that is a here I both button is a concat, so I just selected, and yes, now is selected. Yes, so here that you can say that that margin we have to, and that just here, yes, some space is required giving in between. So here that is not, yes, I directly in design part we have to control. So here one ampersand, yes, that is also possible, ampersand NBSP. So, and that is a provide one blank space. I just copy and paste. So here let us look at how it, yes, now it's distinct, and we can select that button. So here, yes, that I just minimize, yes, yes, now, and there is no any run mode page is there. So now it's selected, yes. So here we can easily move. So that is also possible. So yes, now that select and we can take left margin. So that is move easily, yes. And also I just that, yes, now take some. Okay, so that is looking better. And we can change our background, panel background color is a, so yes, so here is that color, background color in panel. So let us check, and that is a pickup color option is there, so we can perfect our designing. So we can take some, yes, that is a sky, yes. So we can take some dark, not okay, some dark and mix, not so many dark but light. So here also let us check that is okay, but our button is also blue. Okay, and that background is also blue. So take some different color so look better our button. So here we can change again background color of panel, first panel is there, and here we can also take pink, but yes, dark pink or light pink. Yes, let us check how it looks. So we cannot yes, now that is some look better, not so better previously. So here our button is perfect visible, and now we can take next panel in after that panel, and that is we can take the GridView control. So first we can take panel as a container and that ID P2 and run at server side and do text that display all records. Yes, that type of message. And first letter is capital and then just close and we can provide the ASP and GridView and that ID for GV first character of GridView and run at server side, and that is our main important property data key name. So data key name is a require because that display all records. So that is a first field and we can decide EID employee ID. So we can take this ID to our field name. Okay, that is must. Otherwise, taking data key name you cannot provide that runtime taking the you cannot provide the data key name. So we can provide indirectly and let us look how it. And also we can take the background color. Yes, panel. So here we can also choose second time pick up color, and now we can give here. Yes, that shine color is there. So yes, that dark, yes, that is also dark. Okay, no, yes. So yes, let us check how it looks. So now I just go in design part. So that is a look is like this. So I just select this panel second, and here that width we can sum according to our previous panel. Yes, that is exactly perfect. Okay. So now we can start our coding. So here I just click in insert button and that event is open, click event, and first we can take here in our namespace there is no any system.data. So that is first verify. If that is already there, so you can as it is, and if not there in list of the namespace, so using keyword first you can provide system.data as a separate, not directly here take the OLDB or ODBC or Oracle or SQL client. Okay, because the disconnected there are four class data set, data table, data row, and data column in that system.data package that is come in that class. So we can provide separate. In connected there is no any that provide this separate system.data, but disconnected we must be. Okay, so system.data again data we have to package, and then we can take SQL client and also possible OLDB, because OLDB you can any backend tool you can connect with that OLDB provider. So that is known as a provider class or bunch of that provider. Okay, so here I just first give the comment. So our page heading already we can give the disconnected, so you can understand. So that is a we can say that disconnected platform, or we can say that architecture. So that is a okay. So and now we can SQL. Yes, first SQL and then connection. Yes, that connection C and variable. Okay, and then SQL we can take DataAdapter, that is a second important DA, that is a short first and DataAdapter DA. So that is first and that first letter only, both data and adapter. And then command builder, not command class, but here is a command class is there, but that is a disconnected, but here is a disconnected. So SQL command builder, and that is a command and builder CP, that very object name, because we can provide the new operator memory allocation, and then we can two choice data set, yes, and data table. First we can take the data table and then we can convert into the data set also. So let us DT data table, and then data row, that is only one, there is no any choice, but data set and data table. So first, what is a difference between data set or data table? So in disconnected, you can work in a single table. There are two choice, data set or data table, but you can work in multiple table. That is only one choice, and that is a data set. Set means group of table you can work in data set, and data table only one table you can perform your operation. So in disconnected, there are two choice. single table work, then data set or data table, and multiple tables, there is only one choice, and that is class name is a data set. Okay, so here our 5 class is there, and now page load. I first give our combo box, that combo box in department. We can assign only 3 department, but now we can assign more, and that combo box means drop down list box, and then items. Yes, items and dot add method is there, so we can provide in page load directly, and that in double quote we can take some department like can give the operations. Okay, then we can take two like next we can give the order. Okay, order, and then we can give, I think, HR. Yes, HR is there, and also stock, but now sufficient. 6 in design time, and 3 in design time, and 3 in a coding part. So, and also in the property window, you can apply the items collection. You can provide the same as a static way, but that is 2-way now. Okay, so we can provide CN connection class to memory allocation, new operator, and then we can take our connection string. So I double quote and take here @sign. You have to know very well. In my connected architecture demo video lecture, I say that is a prefix is @sign. If you not take this @, so second way, that is a double slash you have to provide in your string parameter. So there is 2 way. One way you have to select. Okay, and that is a disconnected, so you can here not open and close any. That is a name itself suggestion, that is automatically connection close and means destroy. So close and open automatically, so we cannot use open or close method. So in connected we can must be cn.open. Yes, here is also that, but here is no required this statement, so I just show you. So that is a important in disconnected, that is name itself, that the connection is automatically set up when we can take DataAdapter field method. So that is connection is established, and then we can table is in client memory, that time that is a automatically destroy, means close that connection. So that is a disconnected use the client memory, not server memory. Connected use the server memory. Okay, so disconnected solve the heavy traffic issue. So number of user and number of table you can work, that time disconnected is the best choice. So now we can first create SQL Server Management Studio, our database and table. So I just minimize this studio, and here is no open. So I just in start menu, and here in SQL Server, yes, here is SQL Server 2012. I just click, and second last that option is a SQL Server Management Studio. Yes, I just click, and that takes some time, and that is also Microsoft product, SQL Server 2012. Here is a Microsoft, so that is a like in website development, like PHP and MySQL is a best combination, and here also in a ASP.NET, so that is a best combination. SQL Server is a backend tool in website. So because that is a server database and security more perfectly work, and that is a server name. When I install this Management Studio SQL Server 2012 Express Edition, that time desktop that GU7731 and Express. So I just copy. Okay, so we can that connection string taking that time, that is we can provide. So connect button you can just click, and yes, all here that is a plus minus or database is now come in picture, and here so many previously database is created. Here I just show you. So yes, that is some. Here look at the picture and the screen of the object solution. Yes, some headers is there. So now here is a, we can say that master system database, master model MSDB and 10, that is a system, we cannot disturb that database. And here so many previously database created. So I first you have to know how to create the database. I just select this database folder, and that first step we just in that select, and after we can press the right click. So yes, now is yes, I just select yes, and then press the mouse right click. So that is just take some time. So here we can I just okay deselect then select. So sometime is option is coming. Okay, so yes, now is there. Yes, open. So that is take some time. So new database, that is a first option. So here is a new database. So first just click and that create the new database here. And also here you can see underscore log, that is log database. So here we can give some different. So here we can give temporary temp uh, DB, temporary database. Okay, that type of meaning. And here you can watch initial size 4M, log is a 1 MB size. And here C drive program files, that is a default path. And here we can directly save to our file, folder. So I just click, and here our ASP.NET E drive, ASP.NET 2020, and connectivity, that is website folder, our main. And then you can store application underscore data folder, that is selected. Okay, so I just selected and okay. So yes, now is, and also you can same folder you can save your log file. Otherwise, taking not attach, when you can next day open your attach this SQL Server to your database, that try with that not attach. So both same in same folder you can store a main database file and log file, that is known as a log file. So log, that is a underscore log. So that log file and database same, and just okay. Yes, message is coming, and that is a I think already exit. Yes, that message TMDB already exit, so that is not grant permission. So we can take some different because that our database already created. So here we can provide some different names. So here like our temp underscore DB we can provide. So that is not giving error. So because that is already exists. So now we can, yes, our folder is selected. So we cannot select again. Here is already selected, and that both in same application data. There is no any trouble. So here you can look first, and then yes, that is E drive, ASP.NET connectivity and application data. And now I can press OK. So that is a green line. Yes, now is created. So previously existing database, that is rules you can know very well. That is you cannot give your presently database name. So a temp and underscore DB that give, and now table, that is a folder, and just select and press the right click of mouse. So that is also open new table. That option is available. So I just press and let us check. Yes, some. Yes, I again select and deselect, and then yes, now I select. Okay, so that is a yes. Yes, now is open. So new database. Yes, so you can just click, and that is like same is a MS Access database as structure like column name, data type, and allow null. So you cannot provide that checkbox. Allow null means you can provide the blank submission of that column, but we cannot provide the blank value. If your requirement that is a you can provide, but here is no requirement. So EID, then data type, we can so many data type. If you first attempt to SQL Server Management Studio, so I just show you here big integer, binary is there, bit, character, date time, so many possible date times, offset, decimal, float, geography, that is also data type. And here you can say that geometry, hierarchical ID, that's okay. Image is a data type, money is a data type. So you cannot see in any previously database so many. XML is a data type. So varieties of data type, high rich set of data type. Small money is there, small integer is there. So range and number of data type, that is a SQL server is there. So many data type is there. So I just show you, and now we can take integer data type, that is number, and not allowed to null. I just deselect this checkbox and e name, employee name, that is, and that is a nchar 10. If not sufficient, so then range, then you can select nk 50 here, and next range is maximum, so that is highest range. So here I think not required. We can give like up to 10 our employee name, and then gender is there here, gen, that is also in 10 character sufficient. And then department also we cannot provide the maximum 10, our department 6 department in 10 range, that is a only. And hobbies, that there are 3 hobbies, so that is not in, we can give this, that it taking error, so we can give n varchar 50, so that is now sufficient range. And I deselected, and then I just select this first field and uh, set as a primary key. Yes, that is right click, and that pop-up window is display and set primary key. So that is a must be in this connected architecture. Primary key required is a must be. So you can, if not provide the primary key, you update and delete operation not taking in disconnected. Connected there is no required, but here disconnected platform you can must be provide the first field as a primary key. And now I close this window. So asking to you save this table, DBO database object that type, and yes, I save. So here we can give the emp info or underscore, you can also use, but here emp information, that type of. So I just okay. And now that I minimize this, our database table is created in SQL Server 2012. Okay. So if you not attempt anywhere in SQL Server how to create the database and table, so I show you in tip, so you can understand step by step. So I just minimize and open our Microsoft Visual Web Edition, and now we can how to take the connection string. So if you not get the idea in C# window base in DCF 4 SAM, so let us take in tools menu, that is tools menu, and connect to database, first option, just click, and then here our data explorer is open, in all database previously attached is open here. And now I change, first here is a access database OLDB. So previously work is a in connected architecture, that is access database, but I change that button is there, and we can take SQL Server, and that is a data source and data provider here, and data there 2 provider, OLDB and SQL. We can also take the OLDB if you use the System.Data.Sqlclient. So that type of class bunch also you can, but SQL and Oracle is a separate provider. We can take that class provider, so you can use SQL. And yes, I just okay. So that menu is now we can copy our server name previously, so that I paste, so you can know very well. So if you not copy initially stage in SQL Server, so what now I can do? So here our server name is right, and I just right click and then go in property window. Yes, and then here product name, that is known as a product name, and then second way, that is I just show you, I copy and then paste. So that is also possible. If you forget in initially stage, copy to your server name in SQL Server Management Studio. So that is a second way you can copy your server name. Otherwise, your database not appear in connection string. So that is a required. So now again, I move our Management Studio Express Web Edition, and now here I give that server name and then select our database, enter. But you can select all database is list is appear. If you not correct give the server name here, so that database is not listed. So here our temp underscore db, so that is a temp db is already, so give the error, so that is also database. So here we can temp underscore db we have to use. Okay, so that is a, I just press test connection is succeed. Yes, okay, press and go in advanced button, press and then select. First press home key, in that selected after home key you can press, and shift and N key, all connections is copy and means select and then copy, control C, you have to know very well, copy and paste. So I just okay, and also here okay, and now he can paste to in this double quote in here constructor of connection class. So that is a connected to management different visuals. That is a web edition, and that is management studio of SQL Server. So two studio is attached, we can say that. And okay, so now we can start our coding, and you have to know very well. First, we can take in insert operation, and that operation we can take first radio button and checkbox value. So we can take two string variable, because you have to watch my connected architecture video. So that time also we can use the same that code. Okay, and here we can two string variables. So because there is also checkbox and hobby, checkbox for hobby and a gender for radio button. So first we can take the gender s1 variable, string variable. So rbm, yes, that id, and then check is property, so that return boolean value. So we can take directly if condition, and s1 equal to rbm dot text, we have to take that text, and else part we can, if not male is selected, then female, that id rbmf, so that text he can take in s1 variable. Okay, now radio button value is a come in s1 variable. Now we can take s2 as a checkbox hobby for our employees. So now that id is a chk1, that is series chk123, so that is we can easily edit. And then check also, that is same as a radio button process. So check property is also holding the checkbox. And now s2 we can use, and then chk again dot text, that also use text, and plus we can on blank space include concatenation, because we can separate our hobby one blank space. Okay, so I just copy this if condition and paste 2 times, because there are 3 hobby. So I change the according to that id, checkbox 2, and here also 2. So we can give the chk123, so we can easily modify. And here plus equal to, why? Because we can concatenation in one field s2 string variable. So that is a compound assignment operator, you have to know very well, I think. So here is a, we can change, yes, if condition, here require the 3, and here also require the 3. And then I remove this extra blank, because there are last checkbox. And here you can see here s2 is taking some error on use of unassigned of local variable s2. So that is a solution here. I just in s2 and double quote blank, so that error is gone. Yes, so I save. So that is a solution. So now here our coding part is start. Now that is some taking value, and now DataAdapter, if connected, that you can use the command class. Now here is we can use DataAdapter, okay, da, and that is same way here we can write our query and connection. So you look in the tooltip, here first select command text and then connection. Okay, so we can write here query, and here in disconnected you can perform insert, update, delete all operation. First you perform the select query, because server database table come in the client memory, so we cannot write insert query in insert operation. So there is some different way in disconnected coding. So here we can write the select query, not insert query. Select start from emp info, that is our table name. Okay, so that code I partition in 3 parts. That is a server, you can say that server database table load into client memory. Okay, so that coding. So there is only 3 line, and then DataAdapter we can first DataTable dt or DataSet. Here we can use the DataTable and provide the memory allocation, and then DataAdapter fill method, that is work, and that pass to the DataTable or DataSet, that is overloaded. Here you can watch in tooltip. So here fill that server memory load into the client memory in DataTable. So that 3 line we can use. So that is a 3 line is used to server table in load into the client memory. Now we can take operation, and that is insert, but we cannot write the insert query. That is very important. So here we can start the add new records. So I just comment line, so you can, and that is a at client side, not server side. So that is a client memory. We can say that client side or at the client side, whatever word use that comment line. And then what have we can do? Handler is a data row dr, and dt dot, that is a new row, that is a method, and then return is a data row, that tooltip you can see. So that is a blank, create a system dot with the same schema as table. So that is a just include the blank row. We can in client memory blank row insert. Now we can add in filling that column one by one. So dr zero index, and then our control id txt id, that is our design part we have already done, and then dr of one, that start index zero always, and then txt name dot text, yes, so that is second field. And now dr two, that is third, that is s1, that is hobby, we can already take in if condition, if else. And then dr fourth field, that is a department drop down dot text. Okay, so text, and also you can use here selected item dot toString. There is two possibility. So here we can use drop down dot text, and also we can use here selected, yes, selected items dot toString. There is no any error. Okay, so that is, you can text also, there is no any error. And now last field, and that is a fourth index, and field is a fifth. So that is a S2, that is we can take in hobby in simple three if condition. So we can already take S1 is a gender, and S2 is a hobby. So now that we can add, so data table dot rows, that member name rows, yes, that property, you can say that. And then we can add method is there, add, and then we can pass the data row dr. So now our row is insert in the client memory, not the server memory. Now we can update our server table, that is a use with command builder. Now is here we can the update the server database table. So that is a very only two line, and also we can take some validation. So update the server database table. So how update? Command builder CB and provide the memory allocation command builder class and pass to the data adapter. So DA, we can pass data adapter object. So command builder class write our behalf of ourselves, that is insert query in server side. So we cannot write the insert query. So in all operation, insert, update, and delete. So we cannot write insert query, update query, and delete query. Behalf of command builder class, that is write this represent command builder class in server side, that write the insert query behalf of ourselves. So that is very important. So that is a some connected and disconnected. There is a very different way coding, so you can understand. Okay, now we can what take one res result, first three letter, and da data adapter dot update. Now we can update our, and that return type is integer, so I can use the res result or answer ans or result, whatever, that is integer variable, and that is a return positive value, means that is a, and we can pass here data table of if you use the data set, then you can pass the data set dt here data table variable. So that now row insert into update into the server memory, that is command builder write the insert query and data table taking from data table record that come from data table object. And now that is finished, and now we can if condition validation sum, that is a res is greater than 0, that means our not any take error. So if that error is come, so that is give the negative value in res. So that is in else part, some that path or that field some correct mistake or their id some problem is there, that table name or any problem is there, so that give the negative value. Okay, now we can write some shootable message in double quotes. Now response dot write, and I just go ahead. Although, so here we can say that insert record and successfully. Yes, yes, successfully. and then else part can write response dot write, and we can give like error in we can say that insert record, or you can say that employee table, whatever that type of message also use. Okay, now we can print display on the field grid field, or that we can take some user defined method. So I now also display, and that I take, so that is a insert operation we can succeed. Okay, so there are three parts. I just to show you, we can define in three parts. So these three line that taking the server table to the client memory, data adapter and data table. There are two objectives and field method, and then here we can add a new record at the client end, or we can say that client side. So that is a blank row, and one column wise column we can fill value and add that record at client side. That finish. And now we can update the server database table. So database table, so SQL Server and command builder write insert query, and update method return integer, so we can get some validation are greater than 0, so that is insert successfully, otherwise that is error. So I hope you can understand. Now we can take some user defined method, and that is a field grid in between this. So public, yes, and void, and then we can give fill grid, so filling the grid, all record display into the grid view. And I just copy these three lines. So I can say previously all operation you can take some server database table to client memory. So this three line is a fix in all operations. So I just copy and paste these three line. And now our GridView GV, and then data source. Yes, you have to know very well. And data source ID is used in a binding, data binding in without coding. But here we can take coding, so we can use data source. And you cannot take in both in coding and design. You cannot take both this, otherwise taking the error. So you can here data source, and here we provide the DT data table, and then GV data bind method is that data bind. So all record binder that just initialize, and that is a binding. So and now we can call this field grid, that is now in library. Uh, so here page load, I just call field grid that include now in library. So that is our user defined method. So that is a benefit. You can take only one user defined method, and whenever you require that call method. So here we can also call in after saving here field grid. Yes, so that is a benefit. And also we have to clear all record after saving, we have to clear. So I use the second user defined method, and that is a clear. Yes, and then just we have to take like txt, I fast track define that blank, yes, name that tags, yes, and then blank, yes, there is no any error. And now is a if condition, because there are radio button rbm if check, so we can deselect it because clear. So rbm dot check, that we can provide the false value. So that, and else part female is selected, so that is we check, and that false, so that is a clear operation. And then drop down, yes, then also drop down, then tax, yes, so that is also blank. And then our hobby, so there are three checkbox if condition, and then chk1 dot check, yes, then just I chk1 dot check, same way is a radio button checkbox false, and just I copy because there are three radio button. So here we can change ID. So we can provide the chk123, so we can easily modify in copy paste. So that is also important. But we can care if you not forget the changing, then taking some error or some issue is there. So now that is clear after how this method is called. After first we can clear and then fill grid. So I just, that is our now in library our user defined method. Okay, so I save. Yes, and now that is a, I think insert and display and clear. So that our logic is complete, and I just run this page. Yes, let us check that work perfectly or taking some issue, sometime taking error, but no worry, we can solve that error. There is no, if any error is possibility is there in coding, so that is we can also solve, no problem. So now is disconnected underscore employee information X is running. That is first time, takes some time. Okay. So that is here is process is execute, and now yes display. So initially you can see here display all record, that grid is not display because there is no any record. So that is a grid view. If record is there, that is a display. But in runtime design time, you can not run page that you can see that is grid view. But runtime after the attach that record, that is display. So that is a way of grid view. And now here I give one, and then I one RAM, yes, mail, yes, and then our six department, three taking the design part and three taking the coding part. So here we can take last HR, yes, and all three OBI selected, yes, and then I press insert button. So let us yes take here source is different and module was built. So debug anyway. Okay, yes, our database is I think open. So that is something. Yes, what happened? So yes, source is yes here is there. So what already in valid because exist item. Okay, so that is giving some error. I just what I minimize stop debugging first, and that is a yes. Some name is there. Yes, what happened? Yes, let us check. That error is a DDL. Yes, drop down. That our ID is a I think yes that is a drop down, and that property window, or we can see in the directly in the source part. So yes, DDL. There is no any error. That ID is a perfect, but here that is take that you cannot give the clear of that. So here, yes, I save, and but we can here if our management, yes, our table is closed, so there is that type of error is not coming. So that is a just yes here. Okay, here is a problem. So what here does not exist? Yes, what happened? Okay, here is spelling some mistake. Okay, okay, yes, here. So yes, SQL client is there, no problem. So semicolon, yes, there is a, I think okay. So yes, now I some mistake is there. What happened? I know. Let us check that coding. I again run. So I just close. Okay, so here now I can give same value because not a successful insert record. Yes, let us check that how. If we not here, we can take that first dispatch because that we can provide in runtime. So that time error is coming. Yes, our record is already displayed. So yes, primary key, yes, their record is inserted, and yes, now is perfect. So record is already in the grid view. After that, that record is inserted. I show you in the database. So here our table is there, and how we can see the SQL Server. I just right click. Yes, here our employee information and temp underscore DB. There is so many database, so we can select our database, and here, yes, I just selected and right click. Yes, now open and select top 1000 row. Yes, so that record is already insert successfully, but some clear method takes some error. So yes, now record is a insert, no any error. So HR, yes, that, and now we cannot provide one, that is a primary key, so that is a taking error. Okay, now I just minimize this and we can go here. Yes, so that clear department, that grid view, that taking a clear method, that we can drop down not clear, that type of message is there. I stop first, yes, run, and then show run again. So now I can give some different. So primary key is there, so I give the 2 record number, and then Sita and female, yes, and then we can select here and that operation, yes. So I hobby 2 selected and insert, yes. So let us take, yes. So that department is a value is invalid because does not exist in the list, because we can provide at runtime, so that not clear. So design time we can give, that is clear, but runtime that not clear. So I temporary comment line of this, because we can take some dynamic value here, so that is not a clear operation, so that type of error is coming. So here we can give all hobby or department name in the drop down list box, but that taking error as a runtime, so we can just clear method temporary we can close, because that not clear as a runtime value. So design time value that clear. Okay, so now that error is solved. Let us check. I just run again. Yes, that time that not taking any error. Yes, that is a issue we can provide in runtime. So here we can remember what 1 2 3. We can also provide auto generate logic in ID of employee or any roll number, product number. Okay, so I give the Lakshman and male, and then I select this order. Yes, and then select first and last, and now insert. Yes, that successfully. So that is clear method drop down. That is a hurdles. So we can solve that error. So what we can solution is one, we can provide in the design time, not dynamic. That is a taking error. So that is happen. So yes, solution is simple. We can provide in the design time, not run time, because that taking some time error. Okay, so that is a finish, and show, that is a last operation, show in the page. Here we can show already in GridView, but we can also in the page. Okay, so now I can start this last coding of show, and here I select that button. Yes, and then design part, and also in code behind file you can directly take. Yes, that show is here, and we can stop debugging first. Yes, and in show already you can take these three as a same way. I just selected and then paste in show button also. I full screen and then some above the screen so you can look better. So I just copy and paste. Three line is everywhere because that is a disconnected architecture. So first you can load the server database table into the client memory. Okay, now we can take the for loop. So integer r row and initially 0 index start, and r is less than, and dt data table dot row, and that count method, count member or property is there. So that return type integer. So we can take directly if for loop condition, and then r plus plus, yes, and then second for loop, nesting for loop. We can print the column name and column value. That also possible in disconnected. So here we can column C for column. So here C initialize 0 and C less than dt data table dot column. Yes, column is property, and then also count member is there, count property is there, and C plus plus I just. Okay, so now we can opening closing brace in inner for loop. That is a, you have to know very well, that is outer for loop and that is a inner for loop. So I can word of that type of. Okay, now we can take string variable and then column underscore name, and column name you have to print. Okay, so how we can take? So we can take from dt dot column, yes, dt, yes, data table, yes, and then column, and in bracket that is passed to index, and that is c for column. So and then column name, that property, yes, that column name. So we can directly, and that is return string, so we can provide the string variable. There is no any typecasting is required. Okay, so we can take the column name, that is string variable, and now I take second string, and that is a column value. So underscore we can take, and t dot rows, yes, that time we can use the row member, and we can print the column value. So we can row and column, that is r row and then column, and then we can provide the to string. Yes, so that is taking value, and we can print the response dot write or label text also, that is possibility. And here we can give the pr tag, yes, and then we can concat, and first we can print the column name, and then concatenation, yes, plus, and provide one column sign, so that is distinct, and then plus and column value, that is also yes. And now we can, that is finished. So there is a display operation, column name and then column value. So one by one record we can print, and also here we can provide response dot write. We after one record we can some distinct here. So here you can also provide the BR, or here also I provide the HR, horizontal ruler line. So that is a distinct sum. So yes, now that finish our display operation. Let us check what happened. Yes, so there is very simple logic. First take these three law. We can also in grid filling time insert operation, and that is third time we have to use same three line. Okay, and then taking two for loop, that is a control by row and that is control by column. And then we can column name and column value, and then we can print in response dot write. So that is very simple coding, I think. So now I can run. Let us check that display or not. So yes, take some time. Yes, now is I show just directly press. So yes, so here EID, that is our field name, and one E name, that is value, gender, that is our field name in database, and that is a appropriate value. So look at that. Yes, and that is the same in the GridView. We can print in two times, so there is no any difference. So here you can see our field name, that is directly here is a field name taking in GridView. So I hope you can understand and enjoy this session. Yes, and now I just one change, and that is we can replace the data table to data set, that is a remaining. So I can just take new file and copy all these things. Okay, let us check. So you can distinct, because we cannot directly modify this file. So I take new file, and here yes, and here we can give the like connected, and that yes, connected, yes. So here we can say that disconnected, yes, that's correct. And now we can give emp info, yes, and then data set. So I just write data set, so you can understand data set we have to use that meaning. So I just add this file and copy all these things. Yes, I just copy that design all part. Yes, A to Z. Yes, no change is required. So because now is the employee form, I copy all the two panel directly from here. Yes, I copy all these two panel design part. Yes, I copy, and here I paste in division tag of this new file. So that is a, and that is a focus. What we can focus in this file, that is our title of the page. You have to yes, and here, and that is we can use the data set. Yes, that is our goal. Data set class. Yes, that is a class. And then I also copy the code, all these, and here yes, first I can bring that coding, all taking that same coding. I copy all two button and all this display operation. I just yes, so yes, I copy and paste in that coding file. So I go in code file, yes, and that same design appear, yes, and I select this button because that already is now print. I copy, paste, so all is well. So now in also page load event, I copy in this code, and now we can go, and here that class also that comment line, I just copy all this class now write again, and here I paste, and then I provide the connection also I copy. So all this part I copy field grid, all that page load event. So all code I copy as, but that take error because we can provide that assembly. So now we can work in this file. Okay, so I fastly just how many changes required. So using yes, and then system, yes, and then data is written. Then using yes, and then second time system.data and then SQL client. Yes, so Now all error is, I think, gone. Yes. So all is well. Now what change is required? So here, first we can remove this data table class. Yes, here I remove, and we can take the data set. Yes, that is our goal. So DS now that now name is DS. DT is a data table, and DS, that is D and S, data set, two first letter. So here we can change in GridView DS and provide the memory location, and what we can change is required. So here we can pass the DS, and here now what DS, whenever here DT there is no any required because there is only one table, but now is a collection of table data set. So we can table member is there and provide the index 0. So then otherwise taking the error. So that is a here small change is required. So other code is same as well. And now clear, there is no any change. Yes, now insert, yes, there is change. Here we can remove this data table, and here I provide DS and provide the memory location. So yes, that data set, yes, I saved, and here also pass the DS. Okay, so there is no error. Yes, now here what happened, we can new row. So what change is requiring insert coding? So here we can provide the DS, and DS dot table is there and 0 index, and then taking new row, same method, but in between is a table index. There is one change. And also here we can take like DS, yes, and then I remove this dot and then table, yes, and then of 0 and then new row, yes, same way I think. So let us check rows. Yes, that member is there, so I just remove. So there is now okay. So same coding is remaining, and now here also pass the DS in the add, update method and field method. Both are checked. All code is well. So now in here also require change. Yes, I display operation. So here DS new memory location, and then provide, and here also pass DS, and then what change is required here, DS, then in between table member and index of 0. So that is row, and then same in the here DS, then table member. Yes, that is collection of tables. So that type of change, and here we can same as DS, and in between is table. Yes, and table member of index 0 1, you can take the second table. So that is benefit, you can work multiple table the DS data set. So that is now okay, all code. Yes, I think no any error. Yes, now all is gone. So we can save, and then I run this page disconnected, and let us, so we can, I just show you what is changed. First we can remove the data table and provide the data set. Here there is no other changes required here, and now connection string, there is no change. Yes, here we can just take the data set memory and provide here one change. DT is a only DT, but data set data table is column index 0. So number of table is there, and clear is no change. And insert, we can same as previously. Here remove the data table to data set replace, and then here also one change. Here new row method is a data table of new row. Okay, and then add row, that is also we can in between table and then row and add, that also change. And also we can pass the data update method DataAdapter DS data set, and there is no change. And now we can show there is on we can also here memory location data set, and in between all their table word we have to use data set dot tables of 0. Yes, there is only one change is required. So I hope you can understand. Now I run this page, and we can last time check insert and display operation. So yes, that page is running, and now yes, that our previously 3 record is there. Now I give 4th record, and that Bharat, yes, or and May, and then we can take any department. So cell, yes, and select the hobby and insert, yes. So insert successfully, there is no error. Yes, and also display here, yes, in GridView. Okay, so here, and also press show. So yes, there is all 4 record is display one by one. row by row or column by column. Column name and column value is there. So our designing is below, because that we can use the response.write. And I last time, you can also watch here, clear operation is performed. And last fifth record, and that is a Hanuman, yes, that remaining in the Ramayana. So that is also we can take. And yes, our department is a clear operation is, yes, so clear we can take. So all are filled in second time. So I just insert first, yes. So yes, now that is insert successfully, and here you can look and show also, yes. So here all is valid. So I think you can understand. Yes, so simple coding, disconnected. You can take two class data set and data table, that is a disconnected. So there are insert main operation in this session, and we can divide in three parts. First, load server table into client memory, then perform the add blank row and column by column fill and add that row at client side, and then update your table. Yes. So write this program to your note, and that is very important and simple. In next session, we can perform the update, delete, search, and auto generate logic in my upcoming video lecture. So I hope you can understand and enjoy this session. So now I can complete. So there is so long session is there, but in next upcoming we can perform all operation. So subscribe my channel SqlCommandBuilder, press the bell icon to never miss any update. Thanks for your watching, supporting, and sharing my video lecture, and Hare Krishna.